Hi, and welcome to another installment of the Aruka SDA Church Health Ministries Department Health Nuggets series. I am Nakisha Scanterbury Fortune, and today I will be discussing breastfeeding. Breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is one of the most effective ways to ensure child health and survival. Breastfeeding is an unequal way of providing ideal food for the healthy growth and development of infants. Review of evidence has shown that, on a population basis, exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months is the optimum way of feeding infants. Thereafter, infants should receive complementary foods with continued breastfeeding up to 2 years of age or beyond. Breastfed children perform better on intelligence tests, are less likely to be overweight or obese, and less prone to diabetes later on in life. And this is according to World Health Organization, WHO. WHO and United Nations International Children Fund, or UNICEF, recommend early initiation of breastfeeding within 1 hour of birth. So once the mother is stable after delivery, she can start breastfeeding within 1 hour. Exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life. That means no introduction of water, juices, or formula within the first 6 months of life, just exclusively using breast milk. Continued breastfeeding up to 2 years of age or beyond with the introduction of nutritionally adequate and safe complementary foods at 6 months. Benefits of breastfeeding to babies. Breast milk is free. Artificial feeding is costly. However, breast milk is free of charge. It provides ideal nutrition. Breast milk contains everything the baby needs for the first 6 months of life. During the first days after birth, the breast usually produces a thick and yellowish fluid called colostrum. Breast milk contains important antibodies. Colostrum provides the infant with high levels of antibodies that protect your baby and even make vaccines more effective. Breast milk promotes healthy weight. Breastfeeding for longer periods reduces risk of infants becoming obese later on in life. Breastfeeding may make children smarter. It may reduce your baby's risk of many illnesses and diseases, including respiratory tract infection, colds and infections, sudden infant death syndrome, diabetes, high blood pressure, allergies. Benefits of breastfeeding to the mother. Some benefits of breastfeeding to the mother include it helps burn extra calories. So breastfeeding mothers lose weight faster than non-breastfeeding mothers. It reduces anemia as it helps post-delivery blood loss to reduce faster. It helps the uterus return to its normal size faster. It lowers the risk of breast and ovarian cancer, especially if breastfeeding takes place for more than 12 months. There is a reduced risk of developing other health issues such as type 2 diabetes, arthritis, heart disease, and hypertension. Mothers who breastfeed recover from childbirth more quickly and easily. It lowers the risk of postpartum depression. Breastfeeding is one parenting activity that only the mother can do for her baby, and this establishes a mother-to-child bond. There is no additional cost to purchase artificial feeds, which is a plus. It is convenient and it saves time, money, and it eases stress. Here's a look of breastfeeding rates within the Latin American and the Caribbean. In Latin America and the Caribbean, 54% of babies born are given the opportunity to initiate breastfeeding during their first hour of life. Only 38% are exclusively breastfed for a period of 5 months, and 32% continue breastfeeding for 2 years and beyond. However, these figures may vary from country to country, as seen in the table. So as we could see for Trinidad and Tobago in 2011, 46.3% of babies were breastfed within the first hour of birth, while 21.5% of babies were exclusively breastfed under 6 months. In Barbados, we can see in 2012, 40.3% of babies were breastfed within the first hour of birth, while 19.7% were exclusively breastfed for under 6 months. Breast milk. Breast milk is the natural first food for babies. It provides all the energy and nutrients that the infant needs for the first months of life. It continues to provide up to half or more of a child's nutritional needs during the second half of the first year, and up to 1/3 during the second year of life. What is the composition of breast milk? What is breast milk made out of? Breast milk is mainly made up of water, protein, carbohydrates, fats, antibodies, vitamins, minerals, hormones, immune cells, and healthy bacteria. It is the ideal complete meal of choice for the first 6 months of your baby's life. Is it normal for breast milk to be different in color? Yes. The content of breast milk changes to suit the development of your baby, which includes the color as well. There are essentially 3 forms of breast milk. So the first form is called colostrum. Colostrum is the thick and yellowish in color and is produced in the first few days after your baby's birth. It is very concentrated and is rich in nutrients and antibodies. It is a perfect food for newborn babies as it helps them to fight off infections and grow. So as you can see, this bright golden color, yellowish color here, this is colostrum. It has all the nutrients and antibodies the baby needs. Next, fore milk. Fore milk is the first milk drawn during a feed. It is watery in consistency, but is rich in vitamins, minerals, and protein. It has a lower fat content and satisfies the baby's thirst. So you can see the color is a little whitish here in the center. Hind milk. Hind milk follows fore milk during a feed. It is richer in fat content and is high in calories. It has a thick and creamy consistency. This is important for your baby's health and continued growth. So the hind milk is slightly yellow in color compared to colostrum. What is expressing milk? How can I store breast milk after expressing? Now we would hear from Nurse Bramble as she explains how to safely express and store breast milk. Let's listen.
Hi everyone, so I am Ms. Bramble. I'm a midwife and a district health visitor, and I am here today to talk about expression and storage of breast milk. So how do we safely, as breastfeeding mothers, express our breast milk? And the first thing I want to talk to you about is what is expressing breast milk. Expressing breast milk means extracting the milk out of your breast so that it can be safely stored and fed to your baby at a later date. What are some of the benefits? So if you are away from your baby or at work or daycare, your baby can be fed your breast milk and your breast will not be too full or feel uncomfortable. Your partner can also help with feeding the baby. You can boost your milk supply, and if there are issues with latching, your baby can still be breastfed. So how do you express your breast milk? You can express your breast milk two ways, by using a breast pump or by using hand expression. Now, I'm not going to go into today talking about hand expression because then you'll have to use an actual breast to show you how to do it. But I just want to get into expressing breast milk by use of a breast pump. So there are two different types of breast pump, a manual or hand-operated breast pump and an electric breast pump, right? The benefits of the manual is that it's cheaper, but it may not be as quick as an electric pump. The electric pump is more costly, and the strength of the suction can be adjusted to build or reduce intensity. Just be mindful that setting the strength too high right away may be painful and may bruise your nipple. So how do you safely store breast milk? You can store breast milk in a clean, sterilized container or in a special breast milk storage bag. In those bags or in containers, you can store it in the deep freeze for up to 6 months, in the freezer of a two-door fridge for up to 3 months, and in the coolest part of the refrigerator for up to 1 week. Or you can store it on the counter at room temperature for up to 8 hours. Be mindful that you must mark the date on every storage bag or container so that you will know when the milk has been stored. When you're going to use the milk, you use the oldest bag, that's the first in, first out method, so that you will use this method that when you are ready to feed your baby. So if you use the one that you put in first is the one that you will take out first when you are using your breast milk that you have stored. So some mothers ask the question, should I fill the breast milk storage bag? And what you should really do when you're freezing the breast milk, you should leave a space at the top of each bag. This is recommended since breast milk expands as it freezes. So you leave a little space at the top. How much milk should you store at one time? You should store breast milk in small portions to avoid the wastage of the breast milk that might not be finished during a meal or a feed. Approximately 60 to 120 mils, or the amount of milk that would be offered at feeding, is ideal. So if your baby takes 2 to 3 ounces or 3 to 4 ounces at one time, that is the amount of breast milk that you should store in one bag. There's another question. What is milk banking? So personal milk banking is where you express and store your breast milk in large quantities. Your baby can have your breast milk as a meal even if you are not around. That's what we said before. So how to freeze breast milk, or how to defrost, frozen breast milk. You can defrost your frozen breast milk by placing it in the refrigerator, putting it in a container of warm water, or placing it under warm running water. Defrosting breast milk in a microwave is not recommended. You can also leave it to defrost on the kitchen counter for 1 to 2 hours. How do you warm breast milk that was stored in the refrigerator? You can warm the milk by placing the storage bag or container in a bowl of warm water for a few minutes. Do not use a microwave to heat or defrost your breast milk, since nutrients are lost when you overheat it, and it may cause hot spots, which may burn your baby's mouth. So what do you do with your leftover defrosted breast milk after you feed your baby? Leftover breast milk can be stored in the refrigerator for up to 24 hours. Defrosted breast milk left beyond 24 hours must never be reused. Never refreeze breast milk after it was stored. So once you thaw your breast milk and 24 hours have passed in the refrigerator, then you discard it. Can I reuse the breast milk storage bag? So that's another question that we have. No. Answer to that is no. Breast milk storage bags are not meant to be reused. They come sterilized so that your breast milk will be safe for your baby. These bags cannot be sterilized after use. If you put fresh milk, breast milk in a used storage bag, it will expose your baby to harmful bacteria, and you don't want that. Always use a new breast milk storage bag to store your breast milk. Should I mix breast milk with formula? Another question. Breast milk should not be mixed with formula or any other type of milk, as this introduces bacteria to the breast milk. Any unused portion will also need to be discarded once mixed, as this can easily be contaminated and make your baby sick. I want to thank you very much for your attention and to have the rest of the rest of it.
Infant formula versus breast milk. Although WHO recommends exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months and continued breastfeeding for up to 2 years and beyond, each mother has the right to make an informed decision on how to feed their baby. A summarized comparison between breast milk and formula follows. So as you can see, breast milk is made for human babies. It contains water, fats, proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, anti-allergies, anti-parasites, hormones, antibodies, and other important factors that support your baby's immune system. All natural and cannot be replicated or reproduced. While with infant formula, it is made from animal and plant-based substances, which has been processed to make it suitable for babies. It may contain water, proteins, carbohydrates, fat, vitamins and minerals, soy protein, fish oils, and vegetable oils. Breast milk offers convenient feeding, which means that you can feed your baby anywhere at any time, whether it's be night or day. It's just readily available and you could breastfeed at any given time. It is always at the right temperature. No preparation or sterilization is needed because it's readily available. While with infant formula, it's not sterile. Each feed must be made fresh, can make babies sick if it's not mixed or handled properly. Must always be prepared correctly as prescribed by the manufacturer. Breast milk is designed for your baby's developing digestive system. It's easily digested and easily absorbed. It is a natural laxative, which means less constipation. It helps infants to pass their first stool and to control jaundice. Your baby's stool will also be mustard colored, very soft with a tolerable smell. With infant formula, it's harder to digest, so it sits on your baby's stomach a little longer. Baby is more prone to constipation. Your baby's stool will usually be firmer and a little smellier. With breast milk, your baby is less likely to develop infections like gastro, chest infections, urinary tract infections. It contains antibodies which further protect your baby. It offers protection against some childhood cancers, sudden infant death syndrome, pneumonia, and heart disease. With infant formula, it does not provide specific protection for your baby against illnesses. Care must be taken with preparation and storage of formula to reduce the risk. With breast milk, babies are less likely to be overweight than those fed on infant formula. Stops feeding when the baby is full. So the baby will stop feeding when they are full. With infant formula, this may be the foundation to being overweight. Babies may be encouraged to finish the bottle rather than stopping when full. Adding cereal to the infant formula and generally not using the product as directed also establishes unhealthy eating patterns. So this must be avoided. Which breastfeeding position is best? The best breastfeeding position is the one that is most comfortable for you and your baby. Whichever breastfeeding position you choose, be sure to gather everything you will need before you start to feed, whether it's via drink, your telephone, TV remote. Ensure that your baby is comfortable and well supported. You can use cushions or pillows to ensure that you are relaxed and comfortable as well. Be sure that your baby latches on to your breasts. If not, your nipples may become very sore and uncomfortable. The following are 5 common positions used by breastfeeding mothers. So the first one we have here is the cradle position, cross cradle position, food ball hold, laid back position, sideline position. So remember, you must make sure that you're comfortable before starting breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is a wonderful gift for you and your baby. Let's listen at this time as we hear from mothers where they are going to share their experience on breastfeeding. Please listen attentively. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Gisupi. I'm a mother of 2 beautiful children. I have a 14-year-old son as well as an 8-month-old baby. I've always heard the importance of breastfeeding from nurses, doctors, as well as my mom, right? So for me, it has always been important. I wanted to breastfeed my babies, and I was glad I was able to exclusively breastfeed them up until they were 6 months old, right? Breastfeeding has its issues in the sense of, children latching on, which I had a problem with my daughter as well. I was taught that, she wasn't getting enough breast milk because she wasn't able to latch on properly. But with the help of the nurse and my mom, she was able to, right? And I could have continued that journey with her. I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change that mother-daughter and mother-son bonding time that I had with them with breastfeeding, right? And I'm glad that they were able to get the natural nutrients from the breast milk, so that they can be healthy babies. So that is just my little small testimony towards breastfeeding moms and new mothers that are coming and are interested in breastfeeding their children. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Celeste Ryan Turpin, and I am here to endorse breastfeeding. I am the mom of 2 young girls who are 8 years and 4 years old respectively. Now, I would have breastfed them for the first 6 months of their lives approximately. One of them I would have gone up to 1 year old to breastfeed. Now, I want to just share a little bit of the advantages of breastfeeding that I would have experienced. I would say breastfeeding is natural. It is readily available. Breast milk is readily available. It is nutritious, and it also gives a natural bond between mother and child. The only little downside I would have experienced personally would have been in terms of the supply. Sometimes the supply can dip and it can be a little bit frustrating. However, with patience and with time, this can be corrected. So I am here to endorse breastfeeding. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Chriselle Dugue and I am a mom of 3. I am currently nursing 2 of my kids. I have a 2.5-year-old and a 4.5-month-old. Yes, I'm still nursing my 2.5-year-old. She'll be 3 in November, but she loves it and she's getting so much nutrition from it, so many benefits that I'm not going to stop if she's not ready to stop just yet. So I did nurse my 11-year-old as well. She was my first, and I have to say my experience nursing her is different than my experience nursing my little ones, in that she was my first. She was my first pregnancy, the first time I had a baby, the first time my boobs were engorged, the first time they hurt, so it was different and it was uncomfortable. I think I, like many other moms, and like you guys probably, when you first try to nurse, it's gonna be uncomfortable, and it might try to it might give you some doubts and make you discouraged in terms of nursing. However, I was blessed to have my mom with me, and she really pushed me to nurse. She was there making sure I pumped regularly, and consistently every day, all day. After I nursed her, I would have to pump again. So, but that really benefited me because it allowed me to get a lot more milk because I was pumping so consistently and I was nursing as well. So I had a lot of milk. I nursed a lot, and I had um, bags in the freezer. I had storage bags in the freezer with milk. So when I went back to work after 3 months, I wasn't able to pump as regularly, and of course, I wasn't able to nurse. So that really replenished my nursing supply, and so I had to stop nursing. However, my daughter did benefit greatly from that because she was so low at birth weight when she was born at 4 pounds. The nursing really picked up her weight really, really quickly. So, and she was a chunky baby, weeks after. So it really benefited her in that way. My 2-year-old, she is very healthy. She's thriving as well, same as my 4.5-month-old. As we know, nursing provides great nutritional benefits to our kids. It also provides them antibodies, which helps protect them from illnesses, both short-term and long-term. That really is, it's a great benefit that they receive from just us being able to breastfeed them. So these were really important factors in me deciding to continue nursing my kids because it really benefited them so greatly. So even though I didn't enjoy nursing my older daughter because she was my first, and again, it was different. It was a different experience. I understood the benefits of it, and I really wanted to try my best to nurse as long as I could. So I plan to continue nursing my little one, my smallest, as long as I can as well. My 2.5-year-old, I'm gonna wean her off when she's 3, because 3, I think, that's it, but so I'm gonna try to wean her off at the end of the year when she turns 3. But my little one, I'm gonna nurse him, up until 2 if he wants to as well, because it's such a great benefit. I mean, another benefit, of course, is bonding with them. I am so close to my little ones. I just love staring in their eyes. I love them staring back at me when they're nursing. It's just such a beautiful moment for mom and child. So I really, really advise that you would try your best to nurse as much as possible, as long as you want, as short as you want. If you can do it for longer, if at least you can get a couple months in. I know it's always advised that they nurse for at least 6 months, if I remember. So if you can nurse for at least 6 months, that would be great. But yeah, consider those great benefits to your child, the nutritional benefits, the antibodies that fight off diseases and illnesses. We're in a current time where, there's so many illnesses raging. So this is really a great benefit. My kids are rarely sick compared to other kids. So I really see the benefit there. And also the bonding, like it's really special when you can, just spend quiet time with your little one nursing. And then also being able to nurse whenever they're hungry, right? You don't have to worry about packing a bottle, having formula. Right now there's a formula shortage, and that really has not affected me because I nurse my little ones. So that's another benefit. And of course, formula is so expensive. So that's a benefit that I really enjoy, that I can nurse whenever, wherever, and my kids are satisfied. So again, I encourage you to nurse. Use your resources. There's nurses that can help. There's usually lactation specialists, your mom, your friends. Talk to anyone that can give you advice of their experience in nursing. Everybody has different experiences because everybody's bodies are different. As well, kids latch differently, or kids may not even latch at all, So everybody has different experiences that they can help help you make a good informed decision on nursing your little one. So again, I encourage you and congratulations on motherhood. This nursing peak especially really helps your child's development as they continue to maneuver life in their younger stages, right? So congratulations again. Thank you for listening. Bye.
So for new mothers who may be experiencing problems breastfeeding or having problems, for instance, with baby latching on, you can always seek to get support from a breastfeeding specialist at your public health facility or a support group. So attach here various contact information in case you need additional support on breastfeeding. Nutrition for breastfeeding mothers. Many breastfeeding mothers wonder if the foods they eat will affect their breast milk. The good news is that your milk will probably be just right for your baby regardless of what you eat. Your body knows exactly what nutrition your baby needs at every stage of development. Include protein foods at least 2 to 3 times per day, such as fish, eggs, dairy, beans, nuts, and seeds. Eat 3 servings of vegetables, including dark green and yellow vegetables per day. So you see this lovely colorful plate here. You're seeing all the different vegetables, broccoli, carrots, melon. This is how your plate's supposed to look, very colorful. Eat 2 servings of fruit per day. So luckily in Trinidad, our fruits are seasonal. So right now, if you have mangoes, you can eat mangoes, citrus, whatever fruit it's in season, you take full advantage of. Include whole grains such as whole wheat bread, pasta, cereal, and oatmeal in your daily diet. Drink water to satisfy your thirst. Many women find they are very thirsty while breastfeeding. However, forcing yourself to drink fluids does not increase your supply. Vegetarian and vegan mothers and breastfeeding. So according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, breastfed infants of women who do not consume any animal products may have very limited amounts of vitamin B12 in their bodies. These low amounts of vitamin B12 can put their infant at risk of vitamin B12 deficiency, which can result in neurological damage. Vegetarian diets can be compatible with breastfeeding. If you avoid meat, make sure you eat other sources of iron and zinc, such as dried beans, dried fruits, nuts, seeds, and dairy. If you avoid all animal products, you will need to take a B12 supplement to make sure your baby does not develop a B12 deficiency. A vegan diet needs careful planning and specific supplements to provide all the nutrients you and your baby would need. Please check with a dietitian to make sure your diet contains all the nutrients you would need. Nutrition for the child. A well-balanced diet filled with essential nutrients must be introduced during infancy and early childhood to facilitate optimum growth and development. Birth to 2 years of age is the critical window where a child must be fed the right foods to prevent malnutrition, delay mental and physical development, and impaired academic performance. When breast milk alone cannot meet the nutritional needs of infants, other food and liquids are introduced into their diet to supplement the breast milk. Complementary feeding generally begins at 6 months and up. to 24 months. However, breastfeeding may continue beyond 2 years of age. Breast milk continues to be the meal of choice for babies up to 6 months and beyond. However, complementary foods must be introduced to supplement their diets. To meet the growing needs of babies at 6 months of age, mashed solid foods should be introduced as a complement to continued breastfeeding. Foods for the baby can specially be prepared or modified from the family meals. WHO notes that breastfeeding should not decrease when starting on solids. So even though you start your baby on solid foods, you're still continuing to breastfeed for up to 2 years and beyond as recommended. Food should be given with a spoon or cup, not a bottle. So you want to do a spoon or cup, use a spoon or cup to prevent nipple confusion. Food should be clean and safe, and ample time is needed for your young children to learn to eat solid foods. So parents, be patient with your kids when they're now starting off solid foods. At first, they may not want to eat it, but don't be discouraged. You just want to try different ways. Make sure cold foods are served cold and hot foods are, well, not hot. You don't want to have it too hot. You want to have it at room temperature, whereby the babies will be able to tolerate it. And you make it attractive. You can have like carrot sticks, cut up your apples in nice different designs, just to make the food attractive for your babies to want to eat it. Staple foods. Give your child or children, it gives your child energy. And these include cereals like rice, wheat, oats, cornmeal. You're looking at potato, yam, cassava, and also fruits, plantain, breadfruit. Animal source of foods provides protein, zinc, iron, and calcium, which should also be included in their diet. These will include fish, eggs, cheese, and yogurt. For a vegetarian-based diet, chickpeas, lentils, black-eyed peas, and beans are alternative sources to animal products. These can also be included in a non-vegetarian diet as well. Leafy and colorful vegetables should also be incorporated into meals. So you're looking at having spinach, broccoli, sweet potatoes, pumpkin, carrots, beets. Fruits is also important. Ensure that they have their servings of fruits, bananas, oranges, mangoes, guavas. Oils and fats, you're looking at vegetable oil, butter, avocado, and this should be included in their meals throughout the day. Please know that sugary foods and drinks should not be introduced into a child's diet at all. In addition to medical research, Ellen White, she also endorsed breastfeeding as an essential tool for babies' growth and development. According to Ellen G. White in the book, Ministry of Healing, page 383, the best food for the infant is the food that nature provides. Of this, it should not be needlessly deprived. It is heartless for a mother, for the sake of convenience or social enjoyment, to seek to free herself from the tender office of nursing her little one. In closing, breast milk is the ideal food for the infants. It is safe, clean, and contains antibodies which help protect against many childhood illnesses. Breastfeeding plays a vital role in the growth and development of babies, and it is also great for moms. So mothers benefit from breastfeeding as well. Making a decision to breastfeed is a personal matter. You and your baby are unique, and the decision to breastfeed is up to you. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.